Okay, going over all of my um, choices for my team comp one by one, just so I can explain things a little bit better than just bullet points. Here we go. Yippee! Um, the distractors have the exact same um, points, but that's just because you got two distractors. They're duo distracting. They pretty much fill the same roles. The only thing is the choice of tune, because Pebble and Louie are fantastic choices for distracting. It's just ultimately reliant on the distractor's preference. I do think that if you run this comp, you should um, have your distractors playing the same tune, ideally, because a Louis and a Pebble will just get in the way of one another, because Pebble has to use Bark if it's off cooldown, and that's an if, who knows if it's been used already, to get Twisteds off of Louis if it's their turn to distract or whatever, because then it just ends up being Louis is the main distractor with Pebble being a backup, and that's not what we want. These are duo distractors. Your distractors should be able to work with one another instead of against one another, especially since your mental energy is a huge thing for high floor runs and long runs and things of that ilk. Because if you're the main distractor going the entire time, like floor after floor after floor, trying to figure out like, oh hey, I need backup to grab this one, I need Sprout to go grab the GG that's on the floor, whatever. It just gets like very overwhelming. So it cuts everything in half. The workload is not 80%, 20%, it's more 50-50. For Sprout, coming from a certified Sprout main, as you can see, the image is very fitting for my plight as a Sprout main. um, since you're the primary healer, um, the heals from Ginger should be going more to you if you get hurt, because you're also serving as a backup. And I specifically note Kiting Crafts and Gigi because, in my experience, your main distractors are not going to have any issues with commons, any issues with sometimes even crafts. Like, I'll just take him to feel useful on occasion. But Gigi especially is a big one because if you're using a proper and good inventory layout, like yours truly, free slot, escape item, heal item, um, you should be better off rebuilding your inventory, especially with a Yada on the team. The only problem is just refilling heals, and that's not even a problem because you have a Ginger on the team. You know, but with you having two items in your inventory, as opposed to the main distractors who will have full inventories, it's better for you to take Gigi. Ideally by herself, but if you need to take her and the others, you can and just rebuild your inventory later. It's not a problem because you have less of an issue rebuilding your inventory than the main distractors will have because you have one less item to worry about. And that sort of stuff is extremely RNG reliant. Um, and the break after 2000 tapes, especially with a second healer, you're not going to need to have more than 20 tapes at a time, especially, or sorry, 20 heals at a time, especially since your team should not need healing that often, and you have a cooldown anyway. Um, if anything goes like seriously wrong, you should be able to reach a floor with an AFK spot and get everyone to like take heals one by one and then get back up to 2000 and then just take a break from there because like I said earlier, the mental aspect of it is a huge thing. If you're like concerning yourself with heals 24/7, like, oh, I need a min max as many tapes as possible, um you're not going to be lasting very long in the mental energy side of things because you're just not going to have a fun time, and playing video games should be about fun, ideally. For Ginger, I already said her strong points for healing, that she should focus on Sprout if Sprout is distracting. Else she just focuses on the
main distractors if Sprout's not nearby, especially since she has high stealth and will be able to extract near the distractors with less of a problem. The only issue arises when line of sight is a thing. And if you have good distractors, they should not be cutting line of sight like crazy. Um, so her strong point, um, and Astro's, is that she's able to extract near the destructors, and she's able to provide support much easier since she should be nearby the distractors already. Astro, I just mentioned being able to provide support to the distractors. Um, he is a weak extractor, so he'll be spending more time near the distractors, which, especially since he doesn't have as great of a skill check stat as Ginger, because the 1 star really does make a difference. We're swapping out participation award for VMOte, and if there are multiple machines near the distractor, um, he's going to be spending more time there. And depending on the way your distractors operate, that can be more of an issue because that kind of changes the way they play. I know that when I distract, I like to cut corners occasionally and just like turn distracting into a little bit of a game for myself. Um, and I need to focus more on the fact that someone's nearby if I have a support like Astro nearby working on the machines. So it is honestly better for Ginger to be in the thick of it, everybody knows. But I don't know. It's like it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. Yeah. It's honestly up to your team and the way they operate, whether or not you have Ginger or Astro being the one who's mainly working on machines on top of the distractors. And this could just be something that you don't even think about, like, oh, yo, you got a machine near you? I'm right there. Let me go work on it. And just like run away of like when I'm done. um, yeah. Yada is actually fantastic for this team composition because you're gonna be getting GG spawns. Like I said earlier with Sprout, it's going to be easy to restock your distractors inventories when you have someone who can spawn a speed item from thin air. And even if you're not blessed by Lady Luck, you could just have your teammates like help your chances of spawning boxes by priming machines and just letting the Yata pop them to see if you get the items. But even then, just like letting them take like a speed candy until you get something better, because speed candy is actually a very good item, and many people look over the smaller items like candies because they're like, oh, it's not useful. It actually is. It is very useful. Um, Yada needs to mind her stealth, of course, 2 star stealth. Um, would be fine with a Pebble, since Pebble can use Bark if anything goes wrong. Um, less ideal with a Louis, since sharing a stealth stat does make things a little more problematic, but it's like you should have a skilled team, hopefully. Skilled distractors, at least. I honestly think that everyone on your team should have some really good game sense, at the very least, but be able to distract because if your team knows how to distract, they know how the twisted mechanics work, and they're not gonna have as many issues pulling twisteds away from whoever and leading them back to where they belong, the distractors. Uh, I think that would be very ideal. Smile. Shelly, I love Shelly. I actually in the old version of this team comp completely neglected Shelly because I didn't see much value in her boosts because like I don't play with Shellys that much. Then I started doing runs in the Discord and it was like it opened my eyes. I was like, "Oh my god. I this is actually a really useful boost, especially for Astro and Ginger, the tunes that are going to be in the middle of the warfield, the crossfire, whatever. Because they can get out of the situation a lot quicker and let the distractors do their job if they can get out of there quicker, which Shelly lets them do. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love Shelly. I actually need to I need to hold her up on a chair and like, like dance her around and like throw her in a river. She's also great, like the bullet point says, for Louis distractors because she has a higher stealth stat. So you have, if you have Louis distractors, a strong extractor with higher stealth than you do, who can do machines near you. And again, it's just reliant on your distractor's ability to keep line of sight. So you could just send a Shelly in, be like, hey, we got some machines near the Louis. Go ahead and do them. And Shelly, yeah, sir, yes, sir. And go do them. And last but certainly not least, because her ability is crazy, V. I haven't had a chance to play with her post what is it? Blot update? Not blot update. The most recent one that added the little Showtime skin pack and everything. Uh yeah. I haven't had much of a chance to play with her passive, but I'm a V lover day one. You could never make me hate her. Her highlight ability is crazy good. Especially if you're doing a high floor run. Because the convenience and not having to worry about, oh my god, we gotta grab her. Oh my god, that's just like completely nullified. Because you have the highlight and it is extremely useful. Um, as long as the V knows her stealth and doesn't run in the middle of the Twisteds. Um, the only, I would say, yeah, the only downside, aside from the stealth, is that she is slow. And these are the two biggest points people have against her. But you just need to, I don't know, work with your team and have them like uh make your weaknesses more of like a strong suit, because if you like, a lot of high floor runs do this, if they even include a V at all. They'll have the V do the home machines, and that's because of her stealth and movement. So that just gives the team more opportunity to run out and go explore the map a bit more, do the item callouts, do this and that, everything that they need to do, and V can just get to work priming, which she would be great for prime duty. What is it, like 4 or 5 skill checks to make a prime? Um, Fantastic for priming and doing the other home machines. And if you're on a hard floor, you could just let her sit by the elevator, but I think that her extraction, being as great as it is, um, I think that having her out on the floor doing more machines than just the home machines is much more important. It's just like you need someone who is good at playing V to be playing V. Um, Smiles. I've been working on this team comp for literal months. The last rendition of it that I sent around and like had people look at, I made in April. After the Actually, no, I was working on it before the Easter event dropped, but I after it dropped, I saw Scrapbook and I was like, awooga. Because I thought that Scrapbook would be great for stacking a bunch of V's and Yadas on the team. I've given it more thought. I don't think that having multiple V's would be as valuable as I thought that it was originally, though she has really good extraction power. Um, I just think that uh like having more tunes with the only duplicates being the distractors is much better, because you have all these sorts of tunes who can boost each other and help each other with their downsides and everything. And I love that. I love that so much. I love them. I want them all to die.
Yes, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.